worldwide, more exclusive action coming your way. 2 more graduates of the power plant set to do battle.
Another great chance here for these 2 youngsters to strut their stuff in World Championship Wrestling. The first one is Mike Sanders, 28 years old. He's originally from the Atlanta, Georgia area, and he spent the better part of the past year at the power plant in Atlanta, and it looks like he's ready to do battle, and he's going to face a young man that we've seen on a couple of occasions already starting to make a name for himself, and I'm talking about Kid Romeo.
Kid Romeo has done battle with Alan Funk, whom we saw earlier on WCW Saturday night. A couple of memorable matches. They really look good in their debut.
And as I recall, it was 1 victory apiece for this man, Kid Romeo, in that head-to-head battle against Alan Funk. I'm still waiting to see the rubber match between those 2.
Kid Romeo okay? Or maybe somebody had lit the pyro too early or something on him back there. Boy, he was all over the place.
Well, you haven't seen anything yet from what I hear when it comes to Kid Romeo's ring entrance.
Really?
Stick around. You'll see.
Boy. You always say stick around, and then I always wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, and you always try and look over my shoulder at my floor mat.
Well, that's because they clue you in. They don't clue me in. Well, hang on. What on earth? Whoa! Kid Romeo doing it up here on WCW Worldwide. You're right, Mike. That's an impressive-looking routine.
25 years of age, Kid Romeo from South Beach, Florida. And again, he has spent the better part of the past year plus at the power plant after competing in both high school and college amateur wrestling, now trying to make his name here in WCW.
Hey, I just got my brand new year 2000 WCW Facts and Fun Daily Calendar.
Wait a minute, now how do you get one before I do? I mean, I even played a part in putting that together. I wrote some of the bios for that.
Yeah.
How do you get a copy of that before I even have my own?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm out using with the calendar guys while you're over there writing stuff about Kid Romeo and Mike Sanders.
Oh, okay, I see what it is. You go out and you kiss up to Gene Benneter, and then you don't have to go like I and everybody else to stores all around the country and pick up the daily calendar. You know, it's terrific. It's got a different fact or a different biography, as we see the cover here, for every day of the year 2000.
Wow, it's an impressive I'm in there. Can you believe that?
Wait a minute. I thought I had final edit say on that. How did you get in there?
Well, see, once again, the power has shifted in WCW.
Wait a minute. Show me March the 1st. Quick cover now again by Romeo. Look at the leg.
Mine doesn't have one.
What are you talking about? March the 1st is my birthday.
February 30th. Oh, there it is.
February 30th.
September 15th. There I am. Oh, great. Kid Romeo. Let's get back to the match. Kid Romeo. Body scissors up top. Sanders reverses it into the Uranagi. Nice counter.
Excellent counter that time by this youngster, Mike Sanders, taking Kid Romeo in midair, driving him down to the canvas with authority, and then tries to follow up the advantage, puts the big boot to the back of the head of Romeo, and I think he's got the kid in trouble.
Snapmare takeover by Sanders. Sanders into the rope. Good night. Stiff kick right in the chest. Oh, it drops the knee. Sanders, this is a vicious... Oh, look at that.
That mocking from what we saw earlier, the dance routine during the ring entrance of one Kid Romeo, and you can see that obviously that got under the skin of Mike Sanders.
Well, I don't doubt that at all. Mike Sanders, considering himself a throwback, a real catch-can wrestler, doesn't have the flashy moves of a Kid Romeo.
Look at that move. Went from a half Nelson, or actually a quarter Nelson, into a crossface. Ooh, caught him with the elbow. That was on the bridge of the chin.
Fireman's carry takeover quickly over lateral press. 2 count for Sanders on Kid Romeo. How many times have we seen people come out of the power plant and get in the ring and they just look phenomenal, in tremendous condition? There are people out there that would pay the money just to get in shape, whether they ever wrestle or not.
Well, I think hats off here have to go to people like Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, Ted Watley, everybody that puts them through the paces at the WCW power plant. I hope I didn't miss any names.
I don't think you did. And I don't think Mike Sanders missed that running Liger bomb from Kid Romeo. He just got planted. But Romeo has been hammered in this contest. He has taken everything Sanders has.
Who's going to be the first person to get to their feet? Well, it's Mike Sanders, but nice leg strip by Kid Romeo.
Single leg. Sanders went down but quickly back up. Romeo blocks the right hand, fires back, blocks it again. Right hand from Romeo. Chop across the chest. Make it 2. Into the rope. Shoots Sanders in. Waits on it. Oh! Just pancakes him in the center of the ring. Running drop kick from Romeo. Sanders up. Rock. One more drop kick and he's down again.
Well, it's all about putting moves together, and that's just what we've seen from Kid Romeo. Great combination of an offensive assault.
Full front slam, ducks a wild lariat. Now Romeo, a version of the Hoovy driver, and that's it. Kid Romeo over Mike Sanders here on Worldwide.
So the young men from the WCW power plant looking pretty good for the second week in a row here on WCW Worldwide Wrestling. Well, living legend now 1 week out from Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc, and I tell you, the mind games continue between Sid Vicious and Goldberg, but next Sunday, throw all the mind games out the window. Two of the biggest, most explosive men in our sport will finally go at it one-on-one for the U.S. heavyweight title.
Well, you know, in a game of chess, Tony, you could only put off a checkmate so long. Sooner or later, somebody's king is going to surrender. And Halloween Havoc, we'll find out if it's Goldberg's or Sid Vicious.
Do not forget, next week, more great exclusive action here on Worldwide, plus an update of the card for next Sunday, Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc. For the living legend, Larry Zbyszko.
You love that.
I certainly do. I'm Tony Schiavone. See you next week right here on Worldwide Wrestling.